Justice and Legal Affairs Committee, but he has now been transferred and is a member of the Powers and Privileges Committee. Honorable Cherargei, thank you for speaking with us this evening, and I trust you can hear me. Now, what I'd like to hear from you is this. It was a foregone conclusion that you are going to be removed as the chair of the Justice and Legal Affairs Commission if we are to look at the trend that has been over the last couple of weeks. But many were surprised to see you then being transferred to be a member of the Powers and Privileges Committee. What do you make of what happened today, Senator?
First and Waiga, thank you for having me, and it's wonderful to be on Newsnight. Number one is the changes that were done today is long overdue. We expected that to happen. Secondly is that I reject in totality the being made a member of Powers and Privileges Committee. I'm not interested. And by tomorrow morning, I'll deliver my letter to the Senate leadership of the majority side rejecting that. What I'm happy about is that I have not been removed because of my competency, ability, or capacity, but I've been removed because of political conmanship, persecution, and witch hunt that has happened before. So this thing was forgotten. For example, the paradox is here, Wahiga, I am being moved. Senator Murkomen has been moved to devolution. Senator Kindiki has been moved to my former Justice and Legal Affairs Committee. The paradox is they were being removed from their position for not being loyal. What changed overnight? And I think these are some of the things that shock some of us, because these were for a long conclusion. We were aware that these things were going to happen. We are aware that these things has nothing to do with rule of law, with the political parties' discipline of the Jubilee. It's more of our affiliation or our support to the party, to the deputy party leader, that is Dr. William Ruto. All these things you see, Wahiga Maura, are just things that are being done by people who find it convenient to fight some of us. And Senator, secondly and finally, if you see the people who have been targeting, the people who have been targeting for removal, be it myself, be it Murkomen, be it Langat, and many others, most of them have been ethnically profiled based on their political position, because majority of those who have been removed, you can guess the region they are coming from. Okay. So it's not about party discipline, it's about punishing people who are perceived to do not follow certain cult that political parties. Finally, Waiga, yes, under Article 91 of the Constitution, when you form political parties under the Article 91 of the Constitution, it is not written anywhere that when you hold a contrary view. In fact, the political parties, on the Article 91, it says the parties must promote the democracy and the rule of law. But as we talk, Jubilee is being turned into a monarchy, a single party where we are running from. Okay. And therefore, some of us, that is why we will always stick and ensure that we commit on the rule of law in this country. You've said quite a bit, which I want to interrogate. First things first, some would then say tonight, if you've rejected this move, where you've been removed as the chair of JLAC and moved to the Powers and Privileges Committee, you say you're not going to do that. Your Secretary General today says no mercy for any rebels. Is not the ethical position for you tonight then to resign as a sign of your protest? How long will this game go on for, where we see a party giving orders and its members not agreeing to adhere with those orders? No, what you have to know, Wahiga, is that I don't mind for me being removed from the chair of legal. It is not the end of the world. In fact, they are relieving me of an unnecessary responsibility. I'll be able now to concentrate on the issues of Nandi County, whereas I was elected as the chairman of JLAC, as a senator of Nandi. Secondly, on the issue of being moved to Powers and Privileges Committee, it's a big no. I'll tell the party, no, thank you. They have so many members that are more loyal or perceived to be more loyal than some of us, that those positions can be given. Thirdly and finally is that the Jubilee Constitution, when you look, I think, under Article 11, on party disciplinary, it sets out on the issues that can force somebody to be disciplined within a party. Let me borrow a quick case of what happened in Kibra by-election. You remember Maina Commander Anne Waiguru campaign against our candidate, McDonald Mariga, was Jubilee, which is worse sin. If you want to promote party discipline, in last year on October 2019, our Jubilee party members were campaigning for another candidate, yet we had a Jubilee candidate. I have not had the SG Rafael Tuju issue even a mundane proceedings or prosecuting or even holding them to account. So why the double standards? Why somebody else commits who is the lesser sin? And I think as a country, we must be honest. If we want to promote the rule of law, if we want to promote party discipline, let us be fair in discharging our mandate.
Okay.
Let us be fair in ensuring that those people who have gone against the party must be punished. Don't punish people selectively because of their perceived. And I know for some of us, we are willing to sacrifice even more to support His Excellency the Deputy President, now that we have relieved some of these responsibilities.
Hang on there. So what are you willing, what is this sacrifice that you speak of? I had another question, but you've just raised something interesting. Do you see the possibility of greater sacrifice moving forward? What does that look like?
In fact, in famous revolution,
what does that look like? You've just said that you're going to sacrifice even more. What does that look like, Senator?
Even in many aspects across the world, even for good things to happen, you must sacrifice something. And that is why I'm saying even some of us being removed, Senator Kindiki, Senator Kiika, Senator Murkomen, Senator Langat, and many others, Senator Kinyua, being removed is part of the sacrifice that some of us are willing for our support for our candidate when it comes to 2022. And it's not over. There are so many sacrifices that will be made on the way, including political or otherwise.
One of the ideas for a possible sacrifice was proposed by Secretary General Raphael Tuju in an interview he conducted a couple of weeks ago, where he said, if you're unhappy with the manner in which the party is being run, please leave. It is the proper way that party affairs are handled across the world. Again, I pose this to you again. If you are so unhappy with the way things are going, why can't you leave, Senator Cherargei? Is that on the table?
How can you leave from your house? Even in my culture, where I come from, it is not a man who normally runs away. It's a woman. So on this case, Waiga, this Jubilee is the party. And that is why, how can we live when we want to fix impunity that is in the party? Okay. How can we live when we want to fix rule of law? How can we live when we want to ensure the party grows into the vision that was envisaged in 2017 when Jubilee, when URP and TNA and other political parties came together to form a party that had the national outlook and push the agenda of the going forward. Let me confirm to you, Waiga, when parliamentary group meeting for the first time was called after the elections of 2017, it was appointing leaders. The second time it was being called to go to State House, it was removing leaders. There is no day our party leader or even Jubilee as a party has sat down to discuss even the Big Four agenda. And that is why we are saying these things must be fixed. And I said even in your show one time that if the party leader and the President of the Republic of this Kenya feels that friends and allies of Ruto across the country are an obstacle to the success or strength of ensuring Senate gets the proper issues that are provided for under Article 96 so that we can get more devolution funds, so that we can get timely disbursement to our counties, so that Kenyans can get development. I have even suggested to him that he needs to compile all the list of all friends and allies of Dr. William Ruto across the country and fire them once on roll so that we can go back to landslide, we can go back to issues of corona pandemic, we can go back to jump-starting the economy after these issues of corona pandemic. So where I sit, leaving Jubilee is not an option. How do you run away from your house? And therefore, we want to fix within Jubilee. And finally, you have to know that some of us, out of around 205, we pay 10,000 shillings per month. So we have a higher stake in the party. Number two, we have marketed the party in the last general election. Number four, the Jubilee as a party is being funded by taxpayers' money. And therefore, even the Secretary General of Jubilee has not even accounted even a single shilling that the Exchequer funds the political party by the name called Jubilee.
Okay, some would ask why you're asking that question now, but hang on there. You made a comment about a woman leaving the house before men. Just to correct you, women have proven to be more resilient than men. So I think gender activists out there would have a complaint. I didn't
intend in bad faith.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying that. I guess one would then ask tonight, when your Secretary General, and I keep referring to him because you still are within the Jubilee Party, says that a dysfunctional party cannot lead a functional country. You've said no to your transfer. Honorable Murkomen has said no to his transfer. We don't know who else is going to say no moving forward. What does the future of Jubilee Party look like when you have one side giving orders and the other side saying no, will not obey them?
The future of Jubilee Party, in my own opinion, as the Senator of Nandi, what I can say from where I sit, and Waiga, you have to appreciate on a lighter note, I was the chairman of Justice, Legal Affairs and Human Rights. So my work has been to fight for justice, law and order as the chair of legal. The future of Jubilee is when we weed out these political witch hunt and conmanship and persecutors within the party. And I've told you that the biggest obstacle that we need to fix And unfortunately, this is, I wish our current SG all the best as he recuperates. But my point, he has become the biggest obstacle in terms of ensuring that Jubilee fights impunity, that Jubilee contains the track. Because as a party, we should be discussing on the Big Four agenda. The Big Four agenda is in State House scattering dust in some corners. The issue, the future of this Jubilee party is when we fix impunity, when we return the rule of law, when we respect the people, when we don't do things selectively, when we don't profile some few individuals based on where they come from or the of affiliation they are coming from. So that is how Waiga will be able to fix Jubilee if we continue. But if the trend, the way they are running Jubilee like a kiosk, where they are appointing people through tea and mandazi session, I'm afraid the future of Jubilee will be very bleak.
Senator, those who have a different opinion would say that your side, ostensibly called the Tanga side, are also part of the problem, whether it's early campaigns, whether it's seemingly supporting a candidate for a 2022 election, while a sitting president continues to talk about a legacy as well, that you also are equally to blame, you and those who fall under the umbrella of Tanga, for the challenges that Jubilee finds itself in, and the moves you're making even tonight by saying you're not going to agree to serve in the Power and Privileges Committee continues to contribute to the death of Jubilee. How do you respond to that? You're blaming others, but others are blaming you.
In fact, Waiga, when you talk about legacy, which legacy are you talking about? If it is the unity of the country, that's a misnomer. The country is more divided than it was before. What we have succeeded in forming is a single-party dictatorship where we are eating all political parties. I've seen a post-coalition agreement with the KANU, with CCM, with all the parties that is. So the issue of legacy does not arise at this point, because in as much as the Big Four agenda that the president brought the other day did not succeed. I've never seen that document. No one has seen it. Even as the member of Jubilee, how can I implement the Big Four agenda, yet that matter as a member of Jubilee or as a senator of Jubilee or as a former chairman of Legal, there is no day that we have been called out the Big Four agenda will be. Secondly, I've seen the issue of 8-point stimulus plan that we are coming, the issue of even peace and issues. So my only concern at this point, because there are only 2 years remaining for President Uhuru Kenyatta, which we voted overwhelmingly and we supported him through, because there is no agenda that the chair of the Legal that flop on the House of the Senate. My biggest agenda or the focus in the next 2 years for the legacy, some of these things will not be practical. So the only advice of the president and even all these people who are advising him is just to respect the Constitution. If he can respect the rule of law, that will be the best legacy that he can do for this country. And even advisors like Tuju and the rest. So what I can say from what I sit, that as a country, as a party, there is no day we start to discuss the development agenda of this country. What we have been discussing is firing Murkomen, is firing Kiega, is firing Kindiki, is firing Cherargei. So from where I sit, the issue of legacy does not arise.
Okay. I think we can then assume that you did not attend the State House PG that seems to have been the beginning of the challenges that we now see within the Jubilee Party, and whether you agree with the outcome that came out of that PG. Did you attend it, Senator?
Which PG? Is it the first one after elections or the other one?
The one that took place, I believe it should have been last week, Monday. Did you attend?
No, in fact, personally, and many others who are perceived rebels, as we have put it, or who are perceived to have a specific affiliation, never received any invitation. And that is why even somebody, let me use an example. There is a matter in court which is active. I don't want to delve. That even an independent senator, because of the numbers that they like to remove Murkomen and Kiega, they had to co-opt an independent senator who cannot sit in the decision of majority party. So we were never invited. There was no informal communication. And let me advise, because SG is on the line, when you want in future to call for parliamentary committee meetings, kindly, it is important to send the information plus the agenda of that meeting. Some of us did not receive invitations. That is why all these people were appointed at the State House for some of these issues.
Okay, we take it you did not attend then, which is yes, you did not attend, and it seems you clearly are not happy with the outcome of what happened there. Let me ask you this on a personal note. You are one of the youngest members of the Senate. Therefore, you bring a potential of new ideas, not just, of course, in the Senate, but also in the national leadership as well. And you are the chair of the JLAC as well, but you fell through the cracks, and today I speak to you on that. Now, some would say, as a young leader, you did not show what was needed in terms of new perspectives and impressing them upon your bosses who are now rivals. How do you respond to them as one of the youngest leaders that we have in the Senate right now?
Thank you, Wahiga. This question is very critical. I don't know whether you are aware or citizens are aware that an organization by the name Msalenda.com ranked me as one of the best legislators in the country. And I have pushed even around 3 bills. We have quite a number, like the impeachment procedure bill, the county attorney bill. We have pushed even petitions like the Tala historical injustices, the mass failure at Kenya School of Law. We have pushed even the reforms that we are doing at the prison sector now. At the moment, I was working on the status report on the prison reforms. Number 2, we are working on the report on extrajudicial killings. Number 4, we have worked on the omnibus and the audit of elections laws. We are working with the IBC to try and fix the mess that is in the IBC. So when you say as a young leader, what have you done? You can, in fact, I would invite Kenyans so that they can go to the answered and review what as Senator Cherargei have done. Even at the county level, we have pushed for more funds to go to counties, especially to Nandi County. We have held many aspects of oversight role to ensure that under Article 96, as a senator in the Republic of Kenya, we push for more funds.
Thanyou.
We ensure the oversight. We ensure
I will interrupt you.
So when somebody raises the issues of whether I have what you have done as a new leader, there are many things that I've done that I cannot divulge all of it. But I invite Kenyans to look at the answer of the Senate and even look at the results that were done by Mzalendo 1 year ago or around 6 months ago.
If you can tell me this in 30 seconds, what's next for you?
It's not over until over. We will come big and better, and I can assure you the future is bright, and I can challenge. And I want to say I'm happy because I'm in my 30s. I'm one of the youngest chairmen of this country. So I'm looking into the future where we'll continue serving this country in the best way we can. But this fight, finally, Waiga, this fight that some of us are being fought, makes us to be more resilient every day and to become stronger and stronger in supporting His Excellency the Deputy President Dr. William Ruto to succeed President Uhuru Kenyatta in 2022.
Okay, I want to read one tweet that came in, and I just want to see if I can be able to locate it because it's actually part of a question that I asked you. Somebody here, Caleb Otieno, on Facebook asked this: senators and parliamentarians should be paid by Uhuru, Raila and Ruto because those are the people that it seems they are loyal to, even in this unprecedented times where Kenyans are crying out for leadership. Now, that's the question I asked you where I said, as a young leader, what else are you doing different? Because right now, when you look at most young leaders, they are either calling or chasing after the agenda of either the president, or the deputy president, or Honorable Raila. What makes you different tonight?
In fact, Wahiga, you know you are in a better position because you are the fourth estate. You are aware we are discussing, there is a bill in the Senate on how to assist and cushion Kenyans on the corona pandemic. And in fact, I have been very forefront, apart from the small economic stimulus for the small traders like matatus and these people who are in down. Number 2, I have also been pushing to caution farmers because I come from the region, especially the North Rift, be it was in Gishu, Trans Nzoia and Nandi, where we grow most of the food that is being consumed on the food security. If you look at that bill, what we are trying to do as a Senate, we are trying to cushion everybody. And I would want to invite Caleb that if they find time, just go to the Senate, to the Parliament website. You will be able to track on the bill tracker and other trackers that are there so that you can see what we are doing to alleviate some of these issues. Finally, I almost forgot because you asked a question. Let me finish. It's important because he has asked a question. If you go to the answered, I am the person who moved for the removal of a clearance by KRA, by CRB, and many others. If you visit the website, you will be able to see that I'm the one who has pushed even to pay clearance 1,000 by the DCI to get certificate of good conduct. So those are some of the issues that we are pushing to ensure the young people and many other people get opportunities.
Fair enough. On the floor of Parliament, yes, you're carrying out that business, but outside, where you probably spend more time, all we hear is tanga-tanga. All we hear is what you just said as your last statement, which is that it's as if your core function is to push to ensure that the deputy president succeeds the president. And some are concerned that that is all you think about and your focus.
No, it's not. You know, by the way, people should understand that as representatives of the people, we have the right to democracy, and that is freedom of choice, freedom of rule of law, and therefore I don't see anything if I owe allegiance to the deputy president, to somebody else to owe allegiance to any party leader or any other body. What is the big deal about that, so long as I'm performing my role that I was given? And I want to finally, Waiga, I want to invite Kenyans, let us understand the role of each and every leader, be it an MCA, be it a senator, be it a governor, so that when you understand the role of that person, you can be able to judge them based on what they are doing.
Okay, thank you so much, Senator. And we've had Honorable Samson Cherargei, the Senator, Nandi County, former chair, Justice Legal Affairs Committee, and he now says he will not be moving to the Powers and Privileges Committee, and he's writing a letter to the party to that effect tomorrow morning. We also have on the other side, Honorable Raphael Tuju. We'll be speaking with him shortly, Secretary General of the party, saying no mercy for the rebels. We'll be talking to him about today's developments, what to expect moving forward, and also the big question of why. That coming up and so much more. Newsnight after this short break.